Look, dear learners, it's better to have loved and lost than ever to have loved at all. These are the some quotations you see. To strive, to seek, to find, and not to yell. Another quotation, the old water changes, yielding place to new. This is another important quotation in world literature. These are a number of phrases from Tennyson's work have become commonplace of the English language or English literature. Now look at the image. I think you could guess. Lord Alfred Tennyson. 6 August 1809 to 6 October 1892. The Church of the Light Brigade, Lord Alfred Tennyson. This is a very famous poem in world literature. And from our first paper, from our textbook, Unit 10, Peace and Conflict, Lesson 3, Cruelties of Conflict. Dear learners, after reading this poem, after this lesson, you can be able to read the poem fluently with clear meaning, write the theme and answer the questions for examinations, and comprehend the meaning of the difficult words and phrases. Dear learners, let's go to just at a glance. We see the Tennyson's life at a glance. Tennyson's born 6 August 1809, Somersby, Lincolnshire, England. He is an English poet. Died 6 October 1892, aged 83, Lugershall, Sussex, England. Resting place where he was buried, Westminster Abbey. Spouse, Emily Selwood, 1850. Children, 2 including Hallam Tennyson, 2nd Baron Tennyson. Alma mater, the institutions he studied. Trinity College and Cambridge, but getting no degree at all. Occupation, Poet Laureate, 1850 to 18. Poet Laureate. He was a Poet Laureate. Just if you could remember, W.B. Yeats. W.B. Yeats was a Poet Laureate, and he was also a Poet Laureate. Okay, let's go to his life, Tennyson's life in brief. After Alfred Tennyson's 6 August 1809 to 6 October 1809 to Alfred Tennyson 6 August 1809 to 6 October 1892 was a British poet. He was born on 6 August 1809 in Somersby, Lincolnshire, England. His father, George Clayton Tennyson, was an Anglican clergyman. You know clergyman. That means his father served in English church, who served as a rector of Somersby, and his mother, Elizabeth Fetesi, was the daughter of Stephen Fetesi, vicar of St. James Church. From this, we can say Alfred Tennyson's came of a very religious family. Very religious family, you understand. His father and the father of his mother, both are served in the church in England. At Trinity College, he became very friendly with Arthur Henry Hallam, an undergraduate of the same college. there is a very intimate, close relationship with Hallam. Hallam died in 1833. The death of his intimate friend had a permanent effect on Tennyson's poetic development. That means Hallam's death, it's really made a great impression on his life. He was very shocked. He was very shocked at the death of his very close friend, and therefore his poetic career exploded after the death of Hallam, his best friend. His first official poem was Ode on the Death of the Duke of Wellington. In 1982, after 60 years of devotion to the art of poetry, he died. This is a very brief survey, Now the introduction of the poem. The poem, The Charge of the Light Brigade, there is introduction in the textbook. Look at this. The poem, The Charge of the Light Brigade, is about a real war. The poem is about a real war that took place in 1854. 1854, this war took place. It was the Battle of Balaclava. It was the Battle of Balaclava in Crimean War. Balaclava in Crimean War, when an English cavalry division charged a well-fortified Russian artillery position. That means the war between England and Russia, right? England and Russia. Balaclava in the Crimean War, cavalry. Just look at the word cavalry. If you see soldiers on horseback, they are called cavalry soldiers, cavalry divisions, charged a well-fortified Russian artillery position. If you look the artillery position, big guns, or the soldiers with big guns, that means artillery. Almost all of the cavalry men were killed. That means the soldiers, cavalry soldiers, English cavalry soldiers were almost all killed, The Russians suffered few casualties. Look, October 1853 to February 1856, the war continued. Duration of the war, 1853 to 1856. That means 3 years. Nearly 3 years. The Crimean War, look at the picture. If you look at the image, then you will see the valley of shadow of death of the Crimean War. Valley of the shadow of death. This is real picture, not a fake picture. This is a real picture. Many people were killed. So many people were killed. The Crimean War was fought between 1853 to 1856. Russia lost to an alliance made of the Ottoman Empire. Russia lost to. Russia was defeated. The United Kingdom, Sardinia and France. Ottoman Empire was composed of the United Kingdom, Sardinia and France. And Russia defeated to the Ottoman Empire. The immediate cause of the war involved the rights of the Christian minorities in the Holy Land. Holy Land, if you know, in the Middle East, you know, and then a part of the Ottoman Empire. This was a part of Ottoman Empire. Therefore, the cause of the war, if you could remember, the cause of the war is just religion. It is belief, Christian belief. But at its heart, it was an attempt by Britain and France to keep Russia from gaining power in the Balkans and the Middle East. This is political reason. If you just France and Britain unitedly tried to stop Russia just to occupy the land in the Balkans and the Middle East. Balkans and the Middle East. Eventually, the Russian army sued for peace in 1856. Just they made a peace agreement in 1856. It was one of the first conflicts in which modern military technologies. This is the first war in which, but where the modern technologies, that means artillery, if you can say modern technologies like exploding artillery shells were used, resulting unprecedented carnage and a great carnage. If you do, this is the carnage, what a pain, the loss. People were shocked, very shocked to see the carnage of the loss of life during this war. Next, historians disagree about who exactly was responsible for this disaster. That means that the loss of the cavalry, English cavalry, and this is a great loss. You know, there are many soldiers, most of the soldiers were killed, but there is few casualties in Russia. And look at this, in this case, historians disagree about who exactly was responsible for this disaster, but it seems that there was a miscommunication and the brigade received the wrong orders. This is really very tragic, very tragic. The brigade received a wrong order and there is a miscommunication between the soldiers and the commander. The event thus triggered a crucial debate in Britain about the Crimean War itself and the way that the military leadership was charged with. Here the poet praises the bravery of the cavalrymen, but the poet Tennyson, he praises the bravery of the cavalrymen. The poet celebrates their obedience and commitment to military hierarchy. Their willingness to execute an order, even if they know it's a blunder. Right? This is a tragedy. The soldiers knew that it's a blunder, it's a mistake, but in spite of that, they went forward. They went forward because in military hierarchy there is no chance to just deny anything. The soldiers have to carry the orders. This is the military atmosphere. The soldiers have to carry their orders. Whether it is a mistake, whether it is a wrong or it is a right, no problem. But here this happened. Though the soldiers knew that the order was a blunder, carried out the order and faced a terrible, a tragic situation, met their death. But here the poet Tennyson praises the bravery of the soldiers, the bravery of the cavalrymen, and their commitment and their obedience and commitment to the military hierarchy. This is important in this poem. In this way, the poem suggests, therefore, the poem suggests that heroism consists of heroism. This is a very important word for the soldiers. The soldiers, they sacrificed their lives, they died for the cause of heroism. And heroism consists of both bravery and adherence to duty at once. That means heroism consists of bravery and adherence to duty. This is the main focus of the poem, The Charge of the Light Brigade. Okay, let's go to the text, dear learners. The Charge of the Light Brigade, Lord Alfred Tennyson. Half a league, half a league, half a league onward. Look, the word league. A half of 3 miles distance. 3 miles half, 1 mile and a half. This is called half a league. The half a league, half a league, half a league, same word 3 times. Onward, that means a mile and a half, a mile and a half, a mile and a half. Onward, onward means advance. All in the valley of death. Valley of death means this is the place of death, we can say. Rode the 600 soldiers riding on horseback. Forward the light brigade, forward the light brigade. Charge for the guns, he said. He means, look at this, he means the commander. The commander commanded or ordered, forward the light brigade, charge for the guns. That means the command was given and the soldiers went forward. The soldiers advanced. Into the valley of death rode the 600. Very simple English, not a very difficult English here. Look at the paraphrase. The 600 cavalrymen rode for a mile and a half into the valley of death. Into the valley of death. Forward, the light brigade charged for the artillery, their commander said. So the 600 cavalrymen charged into the valley of death. Only one single order. The order is a blunder, we will see later on. But only one order, and the soldiers followed the order of their commander without any protest, without any war. Okay, next para. Let's go to the next para. Forward the light brigade, advance the light brigade. Forward means advance. Advance the light brigade. Was there a man dismayed? Was there a man dismayed? Dismayed means afraid. Are the people, are the soldiers afraid of? Not though the soldiers knew someone had blundered. Someone had blundered, mistake. There is a mistake. Theirs not to make a reply. They uttered not a single word. Theirs not to reason why. They raised no cause. They know that this is a blunder. The order is a blunder, but they raised no question. They raised no reason. Not a reason why. Theirs but to do and die. And they obeyed to their duty. They fought and died. Into the valley of death rode the 600. Look at the paraphrase. Then forward light brigade, the commander said, it is clear, none of the soldiers was afraid, even though they all knew the charge was a mistake. This is a tragedy. This is really a tragedy. The soldiers knew that the charge was a mistake, but they advanced without uttering any word, without raising any question. It wasn't up to them to dispute their orders or to ask any questions. No dispute here and raise no question here. Their duty was simply, it is the soldier's duty. Just follow the order and face the enemy. And your heroism lies on the death, in the battle. Do and die. Their duty was simply to do and die. So the 600 members of the valley of the cavalry charged into the valley of death. Died. Next, third para. Look at the third para, dear learners. Cannon to right of them, cannon to left of them. Cannon means gun. Cannon to right of them, at the right, at the left, cannon in the front of them and in front of them, before. Right, left, before. Everywhere cannon and cannon. Volleyed means through, and thundered among louded, stormed at with shot and shells. That means volleyed and thundered. They shot with their guns loudly, stormed at with shot and shells, and they were showered. Stormed means showered. Showered with shot and shell. Boldly they rode and well. They boldly faced the situation into the jaws of death. Look at this, jaws of death. This is the image, jaws. Jaw means, shark. Shark jaw. That means this is a very critical situation. Jaws of death, very critical. They know this is perfect, real They will face the death undoubtedly. Into the mouth of hell rode the 600. Okay, look, let's go to the paraphrase. There were cannons on their right, cannons on their left, cannons in front. Right, left, front. And they all fired loud blasts. That means they fought terribly, they fought bravely. The soldiers were showered with gunshots and artillery shells. Showered with gunshots and artillery. From the opposite, the enemy attacked them. That means Russian soldiers attacked them like showering. But they rode boldly and well into the jaws of death. The 600 soldiers rode into hell itself. Next para, look at the next para, dear learners. Flashed all their sabers, look, sabers means swords, flashed all their sabers bare. That means flashed their bare swords. Flashed as they turned in air, bring the gunners there, charging and army while all the world wondered. Charging an army while all the world, the whole world saw the situation wondering, saw the situation with wonder. Plunged into the battery smoke, right through the line they broke. Cossack and Russian, Cossack, look at the Cossack, Ukrainian soldier noted for horsemanship. That means Russian and Cossack, Ukrainian soldiers, reeled from the saber stroke, reeled, cut or killed from the saber stroke, shattered and sundered, became tired in splitting. Then they rode back, but not the 600. Oh, this is really a very tragic situation here. Look the paraphrase, then you can understand very clearly. The cavalrymen raised their saber swords in the air, and their sword flashed in the light, just reflecting, the sunlight is reflecting. They charged an entire army, and the whole world watched in amazement and the consternation. With amazement and pain, the whole world just watched the situation. The cavalrymen dove into the smoke from the guns. That means everywhere, right, left, front, just cannon and cannon, the sound of cannon, and smoke and smoke. That means they dove into the smoke from the guns. They broke through the enemy line, right? They are fighting. They fought against the enemy. The Russian troops were dashed, cut into pieces by their swords. Then the cavalrymen rode back. They fought, terribly they fought. They defeated the Russian soldiers there. But the cavalrymen rode back, but not all 600 of them. There were 600 soldiers in that cavalry, but came back very few. Most of them were killed or died. Dear learners, thank you very much. Thank you for keeping company with